In Denver on this Wednesday morning.
Welcome everyone. We are so excited to have you here.
More than 500 folks prepared to give back to their community on a day that's become etched in the minds of all Americans. "9/11 is a day to remember more than 3,000 lives lost. It's also a day of action.
Let's go!
Here inside Empower Field at Mile High Football Stadium, teams of volunteers assembled 200,000 meals, in this case oatmeal breakfast, for neighbors who are experiencing hunger.
So we really appreciate everyone being here.
Stephen Popper is the head of Meals of Hope, a nonprofit that works to alleviate hunger around the country, and led efforts like these in 21 different cities on this National Day of Service, a concept launched after 9/11 by New Yorkers who were directly affected by the terrorist attacks.
They figured the best way to do that is to take what really was a horrible experience and change it into something that is really a day of service, a day of good.
Hunger is a very real problem in America. The numbers are sobering. According to the organization Feeding America, 47 million Americans are food insecure, including 1 in 5 children. 49 million people turned to food programs in 2022 alone. These meals will be distributed by Food Bank of the Rockies beginning later this week.
The Food Bank of the Rockies has continued to see an elevation in need over the last several years due to inflation, overall cost of living, and how much more expensive it is to buy groceries and to feed one's family.
This man was living in New York on the day of the 9/11 attacks.
I was sitting in a park reading the newspaper before going to work, and this loud plane flew over my head, and I looked up and I watched it fly into the World Trade Center.
Eric Clayman says the helplessness he felt that day turned into inspiration.
I don't want that day to be remembered as a tragedy. I want it to be remembered as a day that brings this country together and brings out the best in us.
I grew up with, seeing it on the news, and so it's something that I really wanted to be a part of. Ironically, my mom's even here from her company, so both my mom and I picked this as our volunteer days just to come and help out for 9/11.
9/11 felt close to home for many in this room.
It's like the world stopped and we all took care of each other, and everybody was just there for each other and listening to each other's stories.
23 years later, 9/11 has in some ways become a celebration of teamwork, of togetherness, an opportunity to turn something very bad into something good. Hendrik, Sybrandy, CGTN, Denver.